Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. This is Wood-psyche, working on a pine knot. Just had a rough out blank already made up. I was working on it and I filmed it, but it just didn't turn out too well. So this session is going to be just covering where I left off with the rough out phase. The rough out stage has already been done, so now I'm just adding in details. Kind of like a fast forward project, more or less. Yeah, I hope you guys get something out of it. Yeah, my approach on this phase of the carving is just I'm just taking minimal bits of wood off gradually, not anything aggressive. And I usually do that after the rough out phase because I'm not really like a speed carver as per se. I just like to take my time, enjoy the moment more or less. But because it's actually a relaxing evolution for myself. So anyway, yeah, focusing on the eyes quite a bit here. I usually enjoy this part of the face. It's not that difficult once you get it down, but it takes practice after a while. But the best thing to do is like scope out reference photos or just look at people's faces more. I mean, it's right in front of you. So what more can you ask for, more or less? Yeah, at the end of the video, I got a small segment covering my build update on the cliff house or paleo abode, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's coming along. It's like taking some time, but yeah, it's like something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I finally have the time to do it. Hopefully, I'll get something done by winter, like at least a roof overhead. So that's the goal. Anyway, but yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'm trying to balance carving between building, so it's somewhat challenging, I'd say, because you sometimes gravitate to one more than the other. So now I just got back into the carving groove here and got a burst of creativity, more or less. And I'm deciding whether or not this is a female or male by the likes of it. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm just got the top face done almost to the point of stopping, and I'll have to continue on with the next video and finish up possibly. Yeah, this pine knot is from the Cascade range. You have to resupply on the knots. I'm getting kind of low, so we'll check it out here pretty soon. Get a mission going. Check it out. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of ones that are pretty cool for the contest as well. I have to scour the Cascade range or somewhere in between Bly in that area to collect some pine knots, which is not too hard to do. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to have a contest. I'm going to give away a box of knots. Yeah, I think I'll even throw a finished piece in, like a pine knot that I carved from one of my previous videos with the box. Make it worthwhile. Yeah, it seems like the bark carving seems more popular. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it's not as dense. It's easier to carve, perhaps. But anyway, I just see that most of the people out there look like they're using that stuff instead of pine knots. Only downside with pine knots is they gum up your burrs a lot more. So anyway, yeah, I just prefer pine knots, even though that does have a mess and factor involved with the burrs and stuff like that. But another thing I want to mention is when you're carving is to think spherically when you're carving, as the face is like a sphere and everything around it is like, even the eyeball is a sphere, the cheeks are a sphere. So like when you're doing the face, um, I push back on the corners of the eyes to give it some more depth and realism. And that goes for the corners of the mouth as well, because they're going to be recessed or pushed in more than the front of the lips. So basically, the parts on the face mimic the overall shape of the face. So it's going to be just attached to the sphere, different little attributes. And so you got to mimic that as well. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I don't know, it sounds kind of cheesy, but trying to formulate thoughts. Yeah, it's also good to sketch out something, faces, from time to time in a notebook or sketchbook. I always have a sketchbook laying around, to scribble out some faces here and there, get some ideas, because it's like it's a fast way to like conceptualize a face before committing to like a three-dimensional piece. Because if you don't like the results, you can always change it quickly on paper or toss it aside and work on a next sketch. Yeah, I use a smaller burrs quite often because it gives me more control and detail as opposed to a larger burr. Larger burr just like obliterates more of an area. So with a smaller burr, that being said, it's like you have total control over what the end result's going to be. So that's another methodology that I follow quite often. But I think it's sometimes good to break off from normal routine and try different techniques. See what happens. You might be surprised. That's a keep an open mind, more or less. That's the way I see it. One of my number one rules is don't be stuck in a rut, with the same old thing. Try to branch out. But for this project, it's basically 2 Dremels, like the 370 and the Style Plus, plus a myriad of bits here and there. Mostly saber-tooth burrs are the ones I use starting off for the rough out. And then from there I just go to carbide, small spherical burrs and stuff like that. So depending on what I'm trying to do, like for super small detail, I go for the miniature spherical carbide burr for the eyes and stuff like that. Pretty much self-explanatory. Use the right burr for the right job. So yeah, I just wanted to mention I've kind of been not as much active on social media platforms, just kind of like kind of chilling, more or less. But otherwise, um, just taking a break from the internet a little bit here too. So I'll always be uploading on YouTube for sure. But I apologize if anyone's gotten on the other platforms like Instagram or anything like that and found that I was like unresponsive. But it's nothing against anyone. It's just one of those phases, where you gotta stand back and, like take a break from things here and there. So it gets kind of overwhelming, you get caught up in this like digital world sometimes. Yeah, just have to balance out. Too much of one thing is not good. Otherwise, I hope everyone's doing fine out there in the world and doing what you like to do. I certainly am. I just wish and hope that other people out there can do the same as well. Anyway, coming up on the end of this carving session, I hope everyone's doing okay out there, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy. Later. Yeah, hey everyone, Wood-psyche here. Some of these massive boulders right here. This one's like a 400 pounder right here, if not more, but it's like, yeah, it's a beast. Here's all these rocks digging out. Use it for the structure. It's like going to be a paleo abode or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this one right here is going to slide out right here. It's not even holding up by much down, except for some dirt down there. So, yeah, it's a dangerous one. Zoom out, see that? Yeah, so I got some cool rocks here. So we're gonna have the fucking roof overhang, the top of the rocks going down onto these rocks. Put some more rocks over here. Pretty much burned out. It's gonna take a while. I thought I was gonna have some help. I might have some help next week, but we'll figure it out. So anyway, never a dull moment, huh?